This disclaimer image establishes the channel's mission to help busy home cooks break down complicated recipes into simple visual step-by-step guides. The legal disclaimer ensures transparency about recipe sources and viewer responsibility. The best Italian-American meatballs. Plump, juicy, and impossibly tender Italian-American meatballs simmered in rich tomato sauce that uses a clever combination of buttermilk-soaked bread, fatty pancetta, and an innovative temper mixing technique to produce meatballs so light and moist that a spoon glides right through them. A 1-1 blend of ground beef and pork delivers deep, savory flavor, while optional gelled chicken stock creates tiny pockets of juice inside each ball. Broiled for a golden crust and then gently simmered in tomato sauce until just cooked through, these meatballs are finished with a generous shower of freshly grated Parmigiano-Reggiano. Makes about 20 handball-sized meatballs, perfect served over spaghetti, tucked into a sub, or enjoyed straight from the pot. Here is the written ingredient list for the best Italian-American meatballs recipe guide. Alright, let's get everything ready before we start. This recipe uses 2 types of ground meat, 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork, both with at least 25% fat content. The fat is really important here. It's what makes the meatballs juicy instead of dry and crumbly, so don't go lean on this one. For the bread mixture, called a panade, you'll need 6 ounces of fresh white bread with the crusts cut off, cut into small cubes, and 1/3 cup of buttermilk to soak it in. This soaked bread is the secret to meatballs that are incredibly light and tender rather than dense and heavy. Optionally, you can also use 1 packet of unflavored gelatin dissolved in 1/2 cup of chicken stock. This creates little pockets of moisture inside each meatball that burst with juice when you bite in, but the meatballs are still fantastic without it. You'll also need 3 ounces of fatty pancetta, finely minced. Think of it as tiny flavor bombs that slowly melt inside the meatball as it cooks. For aromatics, grab 1 large yellow onion. You'll mince about 2 cups, 8 cloves of garlic, fresh flat leaf parsley, and 2 ounces of Parmigiano-Reggiano cheese. The seasoning lineup includes 4 egg yolks, dried oregano, ground fennel seed, kosher salt, and black pepper. Finally, you'll need 5 cups of your favorite tomato sauce for simmering the meatballs in at the end. Before any cooking happens, we've got some prep work to do, and taking your time here really pays off in the final result. First, if you're using the optional gelatin stock, sprinkle the gelatin packet over the surface of the cold chicken stock in a heat-proof measuring cup and let it sit for 5 minutes so it blooms. Then microwave it, stirring once or twice until the gelatin fully dissolves, about 1 to 2 minutes. Pour it into a wide bowl and pop it in the fridge for about 30 minutes until it sets into a firm jelly. Once set, take it out and finely mince it into tiny pieces. These little gelatin bits will melt inside the meatballs during cooking, creating amazing juiciness. Second, put your bread cubes into the bowl of a stand mixer and toss them with the buttermilk. Let this sit for about 10 minutes, giving it a toss now and then. After 10 minutes, squeeze the bread between your fingers. You want it completely moist with no dry spots at all. If you find stubborn dry patches, add a tiny bit more buttermilk, 1 tablespoon at a time. Third, get all your aromatics ready. Finely mince the yellow onion. You want about 2 cups. Mince the 8 garlic cloves. Finely chop the pancetta. Tip: it's much easier to mince when it's nearly frozen, and mince the parsley leaves. Grate your Parmigiano-Reggiano as well. Finally, add everything to the stand mixer bowl with the soaked bread, the onion, pancetta, grated cheese, garlic, parsley, egg yolks, oregano, fennel seed, salt, pepper, and the minced gelled stock if you made it. Now you're all set for the fun part, mixing and cooking. Here's where the magic happens, and we'll take it one step at a time. Step 1. The temper mix. Attach the paddle to your stand mixer. Start at low speed and gradually increase to medium-high, beating the bread and seasoning mixture until everything is thoroughly blended, about 1 minute. Scrape down the sides as needed. Now add roughly 1/3 of your ground beef and 1/3 of your ground pork and beat at medium-high speed until the meat is completely incorporated into the bread mixture. This heavy mixing with a small portion of meat is intentional. It builds a flavorful, well-seasoned base. Step 2. Gentle hand mixing. Take the bowl off the mixer and add the remaining beef and pork. Now switch to using your hand. Gently work the meat in, teasing it apart with your fingers just until everything is evenly distributed with no pockets of unmixed meat. The key word here is gentle. You don't want to squeeze or knead it like dough. Over-mixing makes tough meatballs. Step 3. Shape the meatballs. Preheat your broiler and move an oven rack to the upper position. Line 2 rimmed baking sheets with aluminum foil. Form the mixture into tight handball-sized balls about 2 inches across and roughly 3 ounces each. You should get about 20 meatballs. Step 4. Broil. Slide the baking sheets under the broiler and cook until the tops are nicely browned, about 7 to 10 minutes. Every oven is different, so keep an eye on them. You want a good golden brown sear on top, not charred. Step 5. Simmer in sauce. Heat your 5 cups of tomato sauce in a medium pot until it's gently simmering. Add half the meatballs and let them simmer until they're cooked through and reach 145 degrees on an instant read thermometer, about 10 to 12 minutes. Transfer them out, then repeat with the second batch. Don't simmer them longer than necessary. The longer they cook, the more juice they lose. Step 6. Serve and enjoy. Arrange the meatballs in a serving bowl. Spoon that beautiful tomato sauce generously over the top and finish with a shower of freshly grated Parmigiano-Reggiano. Serve immediately while they're hot and at their juiciest. These are best enjoyed right away. Grab a spoon, cut into one, and watch the juices glisten. That's how you know you nailed it.